Hello, everyone. As anticipated by Stefano, I'm going to present you the new analytics tool of Open Data Hub. Few quick introduction about me. I'm an expert in user interface and user experience. I'm a developer since 13 years, and I'm the owner of Metes, which is my company and the company which developed the new version of the tool. So, where did we start? We start from analyzing the actual tool. So, and I don't know if you ever used the actual Open Data Hub Analytics tool. If you never used that, I can shortly explain how it works. It's a web portal where you can go and access some kind of relevant data of the Open Data Hub, which are displayed on a map and they have a time series of values. So this looks a little bit maybe too techy, just to explain in simpler words. Basically, what it does is, for example, you can have on the same map the data of the weather and the traffic, and then combine those two information to do some kind of analytics or deduction about what's happening. And these are just two kinds of data. You have way more than that. You can also have the data of the bicycles, the data of the parking, and so on. So you have all that kind of information which are also available in the Open Data Hub, but here they're displayed on a map. So why do a new tool? Because if you tried it, you will have noticed that it's really different from the Open Data Hub. So the interface is old, is not responsive, and also the overall experience, especially the graphic part, because you can also compare graphics between different metrics, is really hard to understand and use. So this is why we decided to create a new tool. Sorry, it was one slide later. So this is why we decided to create a new tool. And so first of all, we introduced the new design language, which is the same that the Open Data Hub uses. The new tool is also responsive, so you can use it on a smartphone. And we also improved the overall experience, and you will see how in a quick time. And this is the reason that brought us to make it new. So yes, this is the new tool, a quick preview of it. And now we'll show you what's really new in that. So first of all, we have a new, immediate, easy to use and responsive user interface. As you can see now, it looks like the Open Data Hub, the data browser tool, so it uses the same design language. And basically now is way easier to navigate between the main section of the tool, which are maps, charts, and tables, and then also to browse the map. One interesting part for the developers in doing this is that we noticed that basically, as far as we know, the interface is the same. We wanted to bring the same components we built on the Open Data Hub, on the web browser of the Data Hub, also on the analytics tool. So basically, for example, if we build there a button which had a specific look like and feeling, we wanted to have the same button here without duplicating that. And for doing that, first we tried to basically export that button as a web component, but that was a little bit complicated then to be included in the other project. So after wasn't the most interesting solution. And we came out with which looks like to be the best solution, and is packaging some components in an NPM repository of the current data browser, and then importing them as a package, in this case, as a view package in the other project. And this worked. Of course, we couldn't use all the components, but for the most important ones, the code base is the same, and so they can be maintained just on one side, then the package can be updated and synchronized on the other side to ensure the same user experience. Then again, what's new, it's way easier now to see the details of each entity. So here you see, for example, the kind of data you find available on the tool. And if you click on a marker on the map, now you see basically 3 different tabs on that marker, which are metadata, measurements, and alarms. And so really quickly, you can deepen on what information that marker brings with you. And this is pretty useful. For example, you see a weather station from the map, you see the temperature, but then if you click on the weather station, you have way more details. So also the wind, the humidity, and so on. The measurements is like a more, how can I say, a cooler interface to see the raw metrics, the metadata. So in the measurements, you have fancy boxes to see the temperature and all that kind of details. And then you have the alarms. Alarms is a new feature where you can set certain kind of alarms you want to receive when a metric reaches a certain value. So for example, you want to be notified when a temperature sensor reaches a certain temperature, you get a notification from that. Second thing, we wanted really to improve the charts, and we did it in 2 ways. First of all, there's a way new configurator for the chart, so now it's way easier to set the different metrics you want to see and with the time range you want to see, and also to add other metrics you want to compare them with. Another interesting thing is that for the first time we support embedding of the graphs. So you can export the graph as an iframe and embed it in every kind of website. And you will export the exact configuration you did set up. So if you set, for example, a comparison between 2-3 metrics, you can embed that information in your website in 1 click. Also, graphs, now they do support export in both PNG and XLS, which is completely new, and it could be really useful if, for example, you need that information for some kind of research analytics, or for example, for a social media post. Other features, they're not yet available. They will come pretty soon because you may be seeing at the moment online is still the old version of the analytics tool. Really soon, in a matter of days, the new version will be online. But this feature will take a little bit longer to come. So as I said, one of the coolest things is the new alarm feature. And this is really interesting because you can set different alarms on all the kind of data you need, and this could really be useful if you're tracking some kind of information. Also, you as a private citizen, maybe you want to know if that bicycle parking is empty or that car spot is empty, then you will get a notification. So it will really become a useful tool for everyone. And second new feature that will come is the new table view, because as I said before, okay, you have graphs, you have the map, but sometimes it could really be useful to analyze details directly online on a table. And this is exactly what the new table view is about. So for example, here you have the time series on the left, and then on the right you can add different data sources and compare the data you see from different data sources directly online without exporting anything. So this is really easy, immediate, and it doesn't require any kind of export or any additional tool. Okay, so this is it. Unfortunately, it's not yet tryable. I did a presentation thinking that it should have been, but as I said, it will be online in a really few days. So this was, I think, a good example of how it's possible to contribute to the project. the idea is you have data, and the analytics tool is a great example of how data can be shown and how making that data available in an easy way to be browsed could make the difference and make that information way more accessible to many other people. So if you like, you can join to the repository, add any contribution you prefer, and we'll continue to support that as much as we can.